Hey guys, and welcome to Fishing Rocks. Today you join me from Penarth in Cardiff. I'm on the Pebble Beach. I did head down to Culnap Beach in Barry this morning, but it was unfishable. There was a coolie of a southwesterly wind. I got out of the car and I got straight back in. So I wondered what I could do if I could get some shelter somewhere and salvage something out of the trip, as not to go back, you know, and waste the bait. So I decided to come to Penarth. To be honest, I've never had much luck here in the past. I've tried scratching with worm baits. I've also tried big baits, and I've never seemed to have no joy. It's not going to be a long session today. I'll probably fish, I don't know, 2.5 hours up of the high tide, maybe 2 hours down. Just a short session. I really wanted to get out now we had this break in the weather. Storm Cardiff is apparently hitting tonight. So I thought I'd take this opportunity, come out, drown some bait. But hey, the weather's lovely. Just hope to have a good session. Right, let me just quickly run you through my setup, guys. I'm using fixable reels, continental rods. I prefer the longer rods. You can get a much better cast, way easier, no effort. The only thing is they do restrict you sometimes on where you can fish. Obviously, for example, like here, where the wall is on a high tide, you'd be pushed right up, so there'd be literally no room to cast. But I do like them, given where you can fish with them. I find you can cast much better. Yeah, so I got two long coned big pit fixable reels, 2 continental rods, and this is what I use to help with my casting. They're called cannons. They're to stop your fingers getting cut when you're casting with a fixable reel. I think actually they're meant to be fitted underneath, so you can use it like a trigger finger, but I tried attaching them that way and I couldn't really get on with it. I couldn't release my index finger on time, so I like to use them on top, but that's how I'm comfortable and how I like casting. What else am I using? 15-pound mainline, 60-pound shock leader. I'm using a 5-ounce weight on my lighter rod, which I'm using with slightly smaller baits. My lighter rod is a 3 to 5 ounce. Then my beast of a rod, that's a 4 to 8 ounce. So I can lob a whole squid or a joey mackerel out, no problems with that. guys, let me show you the rig I'm going to be using today. I use this for the good majority of my shore fishing. It's really simple to tie. It's the pulley pennel dropper rig. So instead of a normal pennel rig, it's clipped with a swivel and a bent ginny rig clip. When your impact lead hits the water, see if I can get this for you guys. So your hook and your bait are clipped into your impact lead. When it hits the water, that pops off. He says the hook pops off. It's stuck. There we are. So what you're left with in the water then is your lead and essentially a running ledger rig, but it's clipped up for the cast, so it's much easier. All of my rigs I use 80-pound rig body. I use 30 snood clear if I'm fishing somewhere like Chesil for plaice or Dover sole or bass, but here in the Bristol Channel the water's really muddy, so I like to use the black snood line, and then just 2 pennel hooks, nothing fancy. They're not even bent. I know you can buy them bent. Some people put shrink tubing on the top hook. I just wrap it around a couple of times. It does the trick just the same. And today I'm using 3/0 Sakuma Manta hooks. So I don't have no worm today. Just got some old fish baits which are left from a trip to Chesil. What have I got as baits? I've got some squid, some very small sand eels, some bluey and some joey mackerel. So I know I've had some luck further down for the cod on the fish baits, but it's that time of year now. The winter season's coming to an end. The spring season hasn't quite yet started, so I find it's a quiet time for the shore fishing, but hopefully this will work today and we get a fish or two. Just gonna bait up a new rig ready. I always like to bait one up before I bring one in. Obviously it minimises the amount of time bait's out of the water, more chance of catching. Just gonna use a baiting needle. I've got, what have I got here? Some sand eel and some bluey, which absolutely stinks. It's been in and out the freezer twice, but it's a shame to waste it. Just gonna bait this one up. Ready to go. This tide is really pulling today. What is it? Half hour till high water. They've started to turn already. Trouble is, like 40-50 yards out there's boulders, then it's cleaner ground. But obviously if the tide's pulling my weight around, and likely chances is it's going to get snagged in the boulders. Let's see if I can get this one in. It's pulling so hard. I really am going to struggle to get this in. I just really hope I don't snap off. Here we go. Well, I'm not snagged at least. And my bait is gone. I'm gonna have to start bringing them in a bit quicker. Looks like the crabs have stripped the hooks clean. Gonna cast up tide slightly. Hopefully time it swings round, I'll be about straight. Well guys, it's been a tough session. Changed tactics, come to Penarth in Cardiff where it's a bit more settled. I persevered, haven't had the best of conditions today, but I've had a result. A nice thornback ray, give me a good scrap, nearly snapped me off on the bottom, but a nice fish nonetheless. Well pleased with that. Get this fish returned. Lovely fish, and it saved the blank big time to get it returned. As you can see, they're perfectly camouflaged in this muddy Bristol Channel water. Give him a little time to recover. And I've just got a booty. Well worth it though. I'm trying to go and chuck him out a bit further. One Mr. Ray. He's gone. My feet are soaking, but that was well worth it. I'm just hanging on just to see that he doesn't get washed back up in the surf. He's gone. I was going to pack up, but after that fish I think I'm going to have one more cast. the proverbial one last cast. Gonna get a booty. Just had a bit of a slack liner on my lighter rod. Could just be caught on someone's line, or the fact I'm chasing the tide a bit, but it has gone slack compared to my other rod. Another ray would be nice. I'm not going to be greedy. I'm well pleased with that fish. But you never know. I'm going to strike into this just in case. Oh, it feels like there's something there. Yeah, fish on. Oh, and he's just snagged me up. No, still on. Yes. What is it? Probably turned out to be a rock or weed now, but it does feel like it's kicking. Oh, snagging me up again. Oh. And it's... yes, he's done it again. Nice little codlin. Right guys, I'm not going to break any records with this. A dapper thin codlin, but it's nice to see small ones because you know they're breeding, and I'm well pleased with this fish. The smallest cod to give a slack liner. There we go, another booty. He's trying to go. He's getting washed back in by the surf. So I don't usually like doing this, but I'm going to do it now, give him a chance. Thank you, Mr. Codlin. One more cast, I feel. Yeah, I've just had another slack liner. I wanted to bait another one up, but I'm going to have to hit into this. Oh, the long walk. Right, let's see. I can't feel nothing this time. Right, that is relatively untouched actually. So this one is going back out there. This does have to be my last cast. I can feel the wind pick it up now. I feel a cup of tea is needed. Definitely the last cast. Guys, I've come to the end of my session. I've had a brilliant day today. Caught a few fish. Motorbike going past. I'll try that again. So guys, I've come to the end of my session. I've had a fantastic day. The weather's been brilliant, although the conditions haven't actually been ideal for the fishing I've been doing. But I've caught a few fish and I've really enjoyed it. So I hope you enjoyed this Fishing Rocks video. Please consider subscribing for the channel and stay tuned for more Fishing Rocks videos coming very soon.